So, it's October 15th, 2020, and today has been quite an energetic day. If you have been aware of the energies that have been increasing and taking place on the planet, you may have noticed and been conscious of maybe heart palpitations, restlessness. You may pop up around 4 o'clock in the morning, between 3 and 5, randomly, and go back to sleep if you can. But yeah, there's something taking place that is undeniable, that whether you acknowledge it or not, it's there. And kind of like this isn't being discussed as much as other things that distract us from a day-to-day. Today we were talking about light and dark, based on some things we had been discussing, something I shared and went through recently, and just the consideration of it's coming out that we've been lied to about a lot of things or misdirected. Even as we continue to look at the news right now, it's a lot of misdirection and doubt in sources. And if you have conversations with people, you realize that most of them are repeating many of these sources in their conversations or what they believe in, or without like looking within, they're taking stuff that's out. So to say we've been lied to is like light and dark. If you really take time to give it consideration of like how you came into the awareness of light and dark, what you were taught about it, how it was expressed or depicted, it makes you wonder. So I'm gonna let you tell me what came to mind with you, and this is just an open discussion. Please feel free.
So, a couple of things. The aspect between light and darkness, the real basis, why do we see light as good and dark as bad? That just social perception of where, I guess, well, light allows us to see, so that's an extra sensory perception that we have. But the darkness also allows you to rest, and we need that as well. So it's a whole balance of things, of just a perspective, I guess, is because we cannot see anymore physically. We feel afraid because we lost the sense. But in just, a pragmatic way, I guess, yes, we do need light to see things, and we are more productive in that way. But the darkness also offers us a great deal of balance, because without this, our body can really truly regenerate, which is the production of melatonin. Thank you. That it's an incredible antioxidant in our body that really allows our body to regenerate, and that can only happen in certain moments of pure darkness. And in all this playful conversation, of course, it's really interesting to see and hear people this last couple of months on a worldwide scale dealing with personal trauma, personal deep, dark, which you can say that it comes from a dark place that you can't see, that controls you from the darkness. Because if you can't recognize something that is perturbing you or making you make decisions that you weren't aware that they were being made that way to make you take that decision. So to hear those really descriptions is we should really embrace that part of darkness in us.
Embrace our traumas?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it is in that acceptance, yes, that is something that strikes my personal pillar of personality, I guess I call them, that it strikes them because it moves you. It says that I don't want to feel this way. It makes me feel bad, or it makes me feel in a way that I don't want to feel. And you described that it comes from a place that within.
So what is darkness for you then? Or what had it been until recently? Like how did you perceive darkness?
It's just, I never really felt uncomfortable by it. Even when I was a kid, I very prevalent, my mom can say, I used to walk around the entire house at night with all the lights off, just fiddling around and making sense because it was fun. It was just a different way of perceiving it, and I quite enjoyed it. And thinking back.
So you earlier said that light and dark is associated with good or bad colloquially. Where do you think that comes in? When does that start?
When we start having fear of the unknown. When that world is becoming bigger and bigger and our perception gets expanded to where we feel that we are not ready to deal with it.
And that becomes darkness and bad.
I guess that's the association because of that, because we can't see it.
Is that where you got it from?
Well, no.
That's what I'm asking. Where did you get the darkness?
That's an observation. That's just an observation of how people play with words, and they have shared this with me. I guess that is a very personal point of view.
Darkness and light exist on the same parallel. And the association, I can agree with what you were saying of darkness being associated with bad per se, and fear or the unknown. When a child comes into the world, so much is spoken on about their light, this light of curiosity, this light of wonder. And what happens unknowingly from parents and guardians is that when that child goes past the boundary of your comfort, you say stop, or no, or hey. And so for them, it's like that wonder, that awe, that limitless thing just now got a leash of like what's going on. And so the child and that individual has a moment to create this awareness of, hey, proceed in caution, or if it's not explained or fully understood, it just becomes this innate or growing barrier, this invisible barrier that you associate with discipline, or you know better now, and you become afraid to fall. In a way, I know, and how I relate that is I know adults that I speak to that quite recently, this one guy told me, he says, man, if I was 9 years old, I would do that without thinking. I would have just done it. Even though he did it, he thought about it several times before making the jump.
Like the consequences of
because exactly,
yeah,
exactly. So light and dark has been used on many parallels. However, I value the darkness within me more than any light outside that can be found through anything else, like searching for light in books, conversations, more knowledge. I value the darkness, the path to and through darkness within me more than anything. So in a way, I think that phrase of seek the light or stay away from the dark has been flipped or misunderstood, because light resonates in this dimension that we're in. Light illuminates this third dimension of what we can see. However, our light within exists in an entirely different realm. So if you're searching for the darkness, you should go within and search through and for your darkness, because there is a reward there, which I'll share later. And if you get lost on searching for the light, you may never truly see your light. So, yeah, I'm going to stop there and go.
I do have some more thoughts, though. I mean, think about the realm of magic that goes in within the dark, because you lose that sense of physically seeing things that go on around you and focus you more on feeling things. Like this, where does the sea needs darkness and a ambience or a surrounding that is hospitable to its growth, but it needs that darkness.
Every seed. Yeah, every seed.
We need the womb, the uterus. It's all
Darkness.
in complete darkness.
Darkness.
We do come from there, and it is part of us. And even looking at that, at just the physics of it, of the duality of this realm in particular, of the sun or the light makes the shadow. It's all part of the same thing as a revolving. As without light, there is no dark.
I'm addicted to the darkness. It all makes sense soon enough. I'm going to share a journey that I took that was a lifetime in the making and perfectly aligned. Thank you, 2020, for these celestial alignments and energetic explosions that are taking place. Even now, this whole day, I have been experiencing the feeling of this retrograde that's like resonating in my heart chakra, and these palpitations are just like, it's just like, whoa, can you feel this? So yeah, I've been off in a different zone on the astral plane and just floating today. So this is really my first spiel of words, and it started with us talking about light after dark after a day of considerations. So yeah, I would tell everyone that I ever know, from the mountaintops to the bottom of my soul, whether we have like different opinions. The one thing that I recommend, suggest, hope, pray, will do anything to help you see value in, is the darkness within yourself. So stay tuned. Coming up soon, I'm going to have a really interesting conversation where I talk about something that I don't know anyone that's ever done it. I don't. And I'm going to do it again. And I welcome and invite anyone to do this. I'm addicted to the darkness. Oh, it's all been lies. It's all been...
It's a misconception. That's the thing. It's a misconception of it.
True. And it's just because it's this dimension. In the third dimension, light is empowering for the eyes. Those eyes.
Yeah. It's a whole different thing.
Oh, but the darkness. All right. I'm Christiano Can.
Ruiz signing off from Costa Rica. See you guys.